Hello everyone, and welcome to my Duel Today official news channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. The romantic potential of Sloan and Stefan, a new pair for DOOL to consider? According to spoilers for Days of Our Lives, Stefan Di is about to give himself in for what he did to Harris Michaels. Stefan will get intoxicated and eventually confess to the police, defying EJ Di intended escape path. But Days fans shouldn't expect a protracted sentence, because they've witnessed far too many guilty Salemites get away with it. Since Brandon Barish is still filming at DOOL, Stefan will undoubtedly find a way to avoid jail time or, at the least, serve a very little sentence. The most cutthroat attorney in town, possibly the only one ready to take on a case like this, is Sloan Brady. Will Sloan consent to assist in obtaining Stefan and eventually ensure his release? That might cause Stefan and Sloan to become closer, which could be crucial given that their romances are set to hit a rough patch. Gabby Hernandez Di last portrayed by Camila Banus, would undoubtedly find out about Stefan's relationship with Ava Vitali and become enraged upon hearing it. Stefan cheated on her. Because Gabby has a short fuse and might not put up with her husband's betrayal, it could result in her filing for divorce. Naturally, Sloan's marriage to Eric Brady is doomed because she kidnapped Nicole Di infant boy and claimed him as her own. Since Eric is unaware that Sloan is genuinely rearing his own flesh and blood, there are a lot of levels to Sloan's deceit. According to previews for Days, Sloan will eventually pay a price for all of her lies, but is there any chance she could get out of jail? There's no way Sloan will end up in jail, not for very long, given her sharp legal mind and willingness to use every dirty trick in the book. To put it another way, this may end up with Stefan and Sloan being isolated criminals who avoided punishment. Once they hit rock bottom, Sloan and Stefan might find themselves drawn to one another. Should Days give Stefan and Sloan a chance? It's always fun when they try out a new relationship. Do you believe the chemistry would be hot between Sloan and Stefan? Our forecasts and the most recent spoilers for Days of Our Lives indicate that some love upheavals may be in store. An angel preserves the day after a well-known face debuts. Spoilers for the next week of March 18, 2024 on Days of Our Lives, DOOL, indicate that there will be some noteworthy arrivals and departures to discuss. In Salem, nothing is ever conventional, and we recently witnessed some unearthly happenings. Here's the lowdown on all the casting news you should be aware of. For a while, it appeared as though Paulina Price would soon pass away. She was informed later that her ticker was in difficulty and that she might require a heart transplant after being admitted to the hospital with a serious sickness. Harry informed SOD that the content dated back to the days of the writers' strike, which could account for our heroine's unexpected turn of events. Paulina received a visit from an angel and her heart was miraculously healed all of a sudden. How did that come about? The late Lexi Carver was the source of the gift. While Abe Carver and Paulina were contemplating their future in her hospital room, Angel Lexi made her appearance. Angel When Lexi arrived, she not only healed Paulina's medical condition but also brought back Abe's memories, two miracles in one. When Lee was last seen in 2021, Lexi had told Abe to return to the living after rejecting his death. She genuinely has his back. Fans of the Peacock soap opera will see a well-known figure as a guest star on Thursday, March 21st. Scott Evans, co-anchor of Access Hollywood, makes a brief cameo as a reporter. Fans may see Jessica Surfety, a former model, reprising her fierce role as Sloan Peterson on Friday, March 22nd. She converses with Greg Vaughn's Eric Brady and Nicole Walker, played by Ariane Zucker on this particular day. Is it finally time for her to admit that Jude the infant is indeed Eric's son? That was Natasha Hall, who stepped up to take Surfety's place during a temporary leave of absence in multiple episodes. The overdose lies of Holly cause EJ and Nicole's marriage to fail. Days of Our Lives spoilers suggest that EJ and Nicole Di's marriage has only gotten stronger in light of recent tragedy. He has shown his wife unwavering support during Holly Jonas's overdose and the death of their infant boy. When the actual events of New Year's Eve become clear, Will their divergent views on what happens next be the final straw that separates them as a couple? EJ DiMera has made a decent spouse. Although EJ isn't the most kind person in Salem, according to spoilers for Days, he has really supported Nicole throughout these trying times. Considering everything she's been through, he has shown Holly so much love and support, always remaining patient through her highs and lows. EJ's decision to try Tate Black, Jamie Martin Mann, as an adult was motivated only by feelings of empathy for what his wife and stepdaughter were going through, even if his treatment of the kid wasn't fair. He might receive a severe slap on the wrists from the DA for drawing such hasty assumptions when the facts become known. Nicole will be dragged into the fight and end up siding with her daughter, but his wrath for Tate may eventually turn on Holly. Holly made a lot of poor decisions, but lying about it all was even worse. Holly is still a teenager, impressionable and innocent. Nicole can disagree with the punishment that EJ has in mind, but it doesn't mean that she shouldn't be punished for what she did. Nicole will understand Holly's actions, given what her mother went through over the holidays when she lost her baby. After all, Nicole wasn't always a picture of perfection when she was younger. According to DOL teasers, baby Jude's secret is almost ready to be revealed. Although there are still flames between Eric Brady and Nicole, many fans are curious as to how the two will reconcile once this truth is made public, particularly given how close EJ and Nicole are at the moment. Is it possible that Holly's falsehoods about her overdose will be the cause of their falling out? When the truth is out, they will not agree on how to handle all of this. It's possible that about the same time that Nicole discovers Jude is hers, she also finds out about Holly's drug use. Updates and spoilers for Days of Our Lives hint at a regretful feeling as Steve Johnson admits to Marlena Evans about his stay in Aria. They don't know. Steve is confessing to John Black, who is at the door, about John killing Constantine Meliuni's daughter while acting as the pawn. Steve Johnson's fear increases. Steve is becoming more concerned that John will recall his time as the pawn and that he may have had a part in Katharina's demise. He feels compelled to inform Marlena of what has been happening, particularly when John shares his thoughts regarding a particular circumstance. John's response to Ava Vitale's conduct toward Clyde Weston was out of the ordinary. When Ava said, "We've all done things we're not proud of," John said, "Really bad things," in response. When Steve saw how troubled John seemed to be, he began to worry if John had remembered shooting Constantine's daughter in Aria when he was the pawn. Naturally, Steve tries to divert and soothe John, telling him that those events are in the past, out of a desire to protect his friend. Steve is somewhat concerned since John seems to be going back to his old pawn-like ways as he repeats the phrase "in the past" and retreats into his own little world. Kayla Johnson senses that something is seriously wrong as Steve ruminates on his involvement in Clyde's prison break. She thinks that he's holding back, so he clarifies that he wants to put an end to the entire Clyde problem, even though it puts him and John in danger as they flee. What if Clyde chooses to disclose that John and he assisted in his breakup? Steve might take some really extreme actions. Steve, John, and Ava are all troubled and upset with themselves for allowing Clyde to go free. Steve is especially worried about John's reaction. Though Steve isn't sure if John recalls anything about the incident, he knows that remorse regarding Katharina may be adding to John's current anger and guilt. Steve calls Marlena to schedule a meeting, and John calls Constantine to inquire about his situation.